Ah, that age-old question. How do I find a game? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to share a few of my favorite tips for getting yourself into a D&D or RPG game here on the vlog today. Let's get started. Hello my friends, this is 1 in 20 D&D. I'm Gregory, and welcome to DnDaily 295. It is so hard to believe that we're only like 5 away from hitting 300 daily vlogs about Dungeons and Dragons and RPGs. But yet, here we are. So let's get right into today's topic and discuss a few tips and tricks about how to find a game. And here's the reason I brought this up in the first place. I got a great question on the video from a few weeks back about gatekeeping, and I just got this comment within the last day, so it was fresh on my mind, and I wanted to sort of expand on the reply I gave on that video and go a little more into detail. So what do you do if you are either not able to find a local game shop that runs a game, maybe you're too far away from one, or you find a game shop and you find that maybe it's not your crowd. I gotta tell you, I've been into a few game shops where the moment I walked in, I felt like dirty and grossed out and like I needed to turn around and leave as quickly as possible. Some game shops are just like that. They attract a certain crowd. They've got a bunch of regulars. Not everybody is the most friendly person in the world out there, and that's okay. Each place is going to have its own sort of rhythm and rhyme and its own, people that love the space, but maybe we don't fit into it, and that's okay. And the other option is, well, what happens if like you're new to an area or you're just new to this gaming hobby in the first place? So let's get right into this. Here's my basic tips on easy ways to find yourself a group. And some of these might seem really obvious, so forgive me for that. I just thought it would be really helpful to bring some of these up just in case anyone out there either wasn't familiar or hadn't thought of them before. So here's how I go about it. First and foremost, one of the things I like today in this day and age is that there are game shops that run games pretty regularly. They're fairly easy to find. And you can always go there and see if you can find a game. If you don't, however, what's the next step? My next step is this. I've been lucky to find that Roll20 is a great place to find games. Similarly, Fantasy Grounds is another awesome virtual tabletop. Both of these virtual tabletops are not going to allow you to actually play a game at a table in person. That's the one drawback for this sort of answer to the question. However, it'll let you play with people from all over the world. And it'll let you tailor your schedule. There are games being run at all kinds of crazy hours of the day just about every day. So if you go on the LFG or looking for group channels, either through Roll20 or Fantasy Ground, or if you go on, say, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, any of these kind of social media places, you're going to be able to find a game where people are playing virtually. You can jump in with them and play a game probably within the next few days, if not the same day you start looking. Along with Fantasy Grounds and Roll20, another thing that might help, and you might even be using if you're playing virtually, is a Discord server. There are lots of great Discord servers that open up their server to anyone out there that is interested in ttrpgs, and you might find that they have an LFG looking for group channel on that Discord server. Again, you might probably go through either Twitter or Facebook first to find your way to one of those Discord servers. However, just like here, I've just yesterday, basically opened up the Discord server. You can find the information and the details of this video. We don't have an LFG channel yet. However, I'm always happy to do anything I can to help if you are looking for a group. Maybe I can point you in the right direction, or maybe I know a group that is looking for players. So that's another great way, Discord servers. After you do that, maybe another one that you might not have thought of is going to be this. maybe it's time for you to start your own game. You know, there are all kinds of game shops out there, and like I said, maybe not every game shop is going to have a game that's either convenient for you or has a group that you're going to fit in with. Maybe you're younger than the average players and feel a little awkward. Maybe you're older, like me, than the average players and feel a little awkward. Well, here's what you can do. You can go up to the store owner and talk to the store owner about starting your own game. And along lines with that, there's always Adventurers League. Adventurers League is a great organization that is connected with WotC, Wizards of the Coast, and Dungeons and Dragons. They are all over the country, and I believe they're even all over the world effectively. And this is where you can play. I just did a video about it, in fact, that you can actually play games that are connected to the current season of play within the greater community. That way, if you go to a convention and so forth, you're still on board with what's being played. This is a fantastic way to find people that are playing Dungeons & Dragons, at least. It doesn't work specifically for other role-playing games, whereas all the other things I mentioned so far are more generic to just any old role-playing game. But Adventurers League is very specific to Dungeons & Dragons. You can go out and go on their website, or even go on Facebook, find an Adventurers League in your area, and if you just do a little bit of networking, digitally through the social networks, I'm sure you can quickly find yourself a game, a group, or a local establishment that runs games that you can join in. And of course, I might have said this or hinted at this already, however, I want to be a little more clear. You can always start your own game. One of the things that's cool about this hobby is, sometimes you just get lucky. One of my recent groups, in fact, the game group we out here that I'm streaming on now Monday evenings, tomorrow night, we're going to start streaming Monday nights. We've been doing Tuesdays, but we're changing it this week. This group, we out here, started because I happened to be wearing a Dungeons & Dragons shirt one day, and one of the guys in the group now, at that time, he and I didn't even know each other, but he saw my shirt and he said, "Hey, that's a cool shirt." And I said, "Hey, thanks. Do you play D&D?" And we pretty much just struck up a conversation. I learned from him very quickly that no, in fact, he hadn't played Dungeons & Dragons. I was actually looking to get a local group where I can actually sit down at a table and play, and the timing was just right. So we hit it off. We had a conversation. We got a couple other guys involved. We started a game group. Now, that game group has changed over the last several months, and so now we play online because people moved and we attracted another player or two. So things change. That's part of life, and so you never know. Again, start your own group. Sometimes it's the most daunting of these answers, although sometimes it can be the most fun, because ultimately, when you get to sit down with friends and have a game around a table and actually laugh and share a meal or snacks or whatever, that is even more fun sometimes than sitting around the digital campfire and playing on a virtual tabletop. But, we do what we can. So those are the few ideas that I came up with real quick that I wanted to share, just in case they might help you if you're looking for a game, or maybe you're on vacation and you're like, I wonder if there's a game in the area while I have this extra time, or if you move to a new area. Again, use the LFGs on either Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, or a Discord server. Find a local game shop and see if they have an Adventurers League game, or if they just run games in the shop. And ultimately, you can always start your own game. Now here, the bottom line is, to summarize all of this, I want to answer with one question to this. How do I find a game? Just ask around. Just ask around. Start talking to people. Ask people that play the games already. See if they know anyone that's playing a game in your area, and so on. And you will find a game, without doubt, probably quicker than you think. Well, that's my tip for today, and if you have an idea or if you think I missed something, let us know in the comments on this video, and then take a look at one of these two videos here. I'll see you at a table someday. Keep rolling 20s, and remember, it's your game, play your way.